When people ask, how can I achieve anything I want in life? I smile, because the answer is simple, but it is not easy. And let me tell you something with absolute clarity. Your circumstances do not decide your destiny. Your decisions do. Look at the life of Muniba Mazari, a woman who was told she would never walk again, a woman who could have surrendered to pain, bitterness, and self-pity. But instead of asking, why me, she asked, what now? That question changes everything. And that is the first lesson. Accept your reality, but refuse to stay there. Acceptance is not weakness. Acceptance is power. When you accept where you are, you stop wasting energy denying it, and that energy becomes fuel for growth. Second, turn your pain into purpose. Listen carefully. Pain is not your enemy. Pain is your teacher. Every rejection, every failure, every heartbreak carries a lesson. But only disciplined minds extract wisdom from suffering. Do not curse your struggles. Study them. Analyze them. Ask yourself, what is this trying to teach me? Because the people who achieve greatness are not the ones who avoided pain. They are the ones who transformed. Third, build unshakable self-belief, not fake confidence, not arrogance. Real belief. The kind that whispers, I will find a way, even when the world shouts, you can't. Many people fail not because they lack talent, but because they lack belief. You must become your own strongest supporter. If you do not believe in your vision, why should anyone else? Speak to yourself with respect. Speak to yourself with authority. Tell yourself, I am capable, I am learning, I am growing. Fourth, understand this deeply. Discipline is more important than motivation. Motivation is emotional. Discipline is intentional. Motivation comes and goes. Discipline stays. You will not feel inspired every day. You will not wake up excited every morning. But champions do not rely on feelings. They rely on habits. They show up when they are tired. They show up when they are doubted. They show up when it is inconvenient. That consistency is what separates dreamers from achievers. Fifth, choose your environment wisely. You cannot grow in a toxic environment. If you surround yourself with negativity, criticism, and small thinking, your dreams will suffocate. Protect your mind. Guard your energy. Spend time with people who challenge you, inspire you, and believe in growth. Read books that stretch your thinking. Listen to voices that elevate your standards. Environment shapes identity, and identity shapes results. And finally, take imperfect action consistently. Stop waiting for the perfect time. Stop waiting to feel ready. Perfection is the biggest excuse disguised as preparation. Start where you are. Start with what you have. Start now. Action creates clarity. Action builds confidence. Action generates momentum. Even small steps, taken daily, compound into massive transformation. Achieving anything in life is not magic. It is mindset plus discipline plus courage. It is choosing growth over comfort. It is standing up after failure and saying again. It is believing that your current chapter is not your final chapter. You are more powerful than your excuses. You are stronger than your fears. And you are capable of more than you have allowed yourself to imagine. The question is not whether you can achieve it. The real question is, are you willing to become the person who deserves it? Accept your reality, but refuse to stay there. Read that again. Accept it, but do not settle in it. There is a powerful difference between surrender and acceptance. Surrender says, this is my fate. Acceptance says, this is my starting point. And when you understand that, everything changes inside you. Look at the journey of Muniba Mazari. After a tragic accident left her in a wheelchair, she could have lived in denial. She could have spent years asking, why did this happen to me? But instead, she faced the mirror of reality and said, this is where I am. Now what can I build from here? That is strength. That is maturity. That is power. Listen carefully. Denial drains energy. Complaining drains energy. Blaming drains energy. But acceptance gives you energy. When you finally say, yes, this is my situation, you stop fighting what already exists. And when you stop fighting reality, you free your mind to change it. That is where transformation begins. Maybe your reality is financial struggle. Maybe it is heartbreak. Maybe it is failure. Maybe you feel behind in life. Maybe people doubt you. Maybe you doubt yourself. Fine. Acknowledge it. Say it out loud if you must. This is where I am. There is no shame in admitting your current position. The only shame is pretending it is not there while secretly suffering inside. But here is the fire. Do not build your identity around your current condition. Your situation is temporary. Your identity is powerful. When you confuse the two, you trap yourself. You are not your failure. You experienced failure. You are not your mistake. You made a mistake. You are not your weakness. You have weaknesses. Big difference. Massive difference. Acceptance is not saying, this is all I deserve. No. Acceptance is saying, this is my foundation and I will build something greater. If you broke your leg, you accept that it is broken so you can treat it. If your habits are destroying your goals, you accept that they are unhealthy so you can change them. If your mindset is negative, you accept it so you can reprogram it. Ignoring it will not fix it. Facing it will. Stop saying, when things get better, I will start. No. Things get better when you start. Stop waiting for perfect conditions. They do not exist. Every successful person you admire began with limitations. They began with fear. They began with uncertainty. But they accepted where they were, and then they moved. There is something incredibly powerful about saying, I am responsible. Not guilty. Responsible. Responsibility gives you control. When you accept responsibility for your growth, your reactions, your decisions, you stop being a victim of circumstances. You become a creator of outcomes. You cannot change what you refuse to acknowledge. You cannot grow from what you pretend is not there. Face it, own it, feel it, then rise from it. Your current reality is not a prison. It is a classroom. And once you learn the lesson, you graduate to the next level. Now stand up internally and tell yourself with conviction, this is where I am, but this is not where I will remain. Turn pain into purpose. Hear me carefully. Pain is not a punishment, it is a message. It is the universe, life, and your own heart trying to speak to you. Too many people waste their struggles by crying over them, blaming them, or burying them deep inside. But the truth is, your pain carries the blueprint for your greatest growth. Every scar, every heartbreak, every failure, every rejection, it is a guide pointing you towards something bigger than yourself. The question is not why me? The question is what now? Look at Muniba Mazari. She didn't just survive her accident. She transformed the suffering into a mission. She realized that if she could rise, inspire, and create change from her pain, she could touch lives that would never have been reached otherwise. That is what I want you to understand. Your pain is not random. It is a seed. But a seed needs water, sunlight, and care. Pain alone cannot grow into purpose. Your mindset is the soil, and your actions are the water. Stop pretending that pain is weakness. Stop hiding it. Stop avoiding it. Face it. Study it. Question it. Ask, what is this teaching me? How can I use this to create strength, empathy, and impact? You may have been betrayed, overlooked, or humiliated. Perfect. That experience now makes you an expert in resilience, in seeing reality clearly, in helping others who walk the same path. Do not waste the lessons embedded in your suffering. Understand this, everyone faces pain, difference between those who stay stuck and those who rise is what they do with it. Some people let it harden them, make them bitter, make them quiet. Others let it ignite them, make them courageous, make them loud with their truth. The pain itself is neutral. It is your response that writes the story. Decide today to respond with purpose, not pity. You cannot create purpose without reflection. Sit with your pain, feel it fully. Ask yourself tough questions. Write it down. Talk to yourself honestly. The answers will appear when you are willing to confront what you've been running from. And once you see the lesson clearly, take action. Transform the energy of hurt into work, into art, into mentorship, into growth. The people who achieve greatness are not those who avoided pain. They are the ones who mined it like gold, extracted the value, and built empires, movements, and legacies from it. Remember, there is no shortcut, there is no magic. There is only facing the discomfort, embracing the struggle, and converting it into fuel. Pain without purpose is suffering. Pain with purpose is power. The wounds that feel deepest today are often the wings that carry you to heights tomorrow. It is not easy, and it is not instant, but it is inevitable for those who dare to look their pain in the eyes and say, I will rise. I will transform. I will become more than this moment. Do not run from your pain. Do not bury it. Do not let it define you negatively. Transform it, harness it. Let it become your compass, your strength, your story, and your mission. Build unshakable self-belief. Listen closely. Nothing will happen in your life until you first believe it can. Not your parents, not your friends, not your teachers, not even the world around you. None of them can give you what only you can give yourself. Unwavering faith in your own abilities. Self-belief is the foundation of every achievement. Without it, every step forward feels shaky, every decision feels uncertain, every challenge feels impossible. But when you build it, when you strengthen it, you become unstoppable. Understand this, belief is not arrogance. It is not thinking you are better than anyone else. Real belief is quiet, confident, and persistent. It whispers, I can do this, even when fear is screaming, you can't. It is the voice that keeps you moving when doors close, when plans fail, when people doubt you. The world will constantly test you. Your job is not to avoid doubt. Your job is to drown it out with your belief. Start by talking to yourself differently. The language you use matters. Stop saying, I can't, I'm not good enough, maybe someday. Those words are chains. Replace them with, I am capable, I am learning, I can figure this out. Speak it until it becomes real. Your mind is listening constantly. The thoughts you feed it will either limit you or liberate you. Feed it courage, feed it faith, feed it persistence. Look at the lives of those who have achieved greatness. Muniba Mazari, for example. She faced limitations that would have crushed most people, yet she did not wait for validation, approval, or permission. She believed in herself first, and that belief became louder than the obstacles around her. That is the power of self-belief. It transforms impossibility into possibility. Do not confuse confidence with luck. Confidence is built brick by bar. Through small victories, daily discipline, and repeated effort. Every time you face fear and act anyway, you strengthen that belief. Every time you fail and try again, you reinforce it. Every time you learn a new skill, you add a brick to the foundation. Keep building. Strengthen it through action, not just thought. Surround yourself with reminders of your capability. Keep a journal of your wins. Celebrate progress, even if it is small. Reflect on moments when you overcame challenges, when you solved problems, when you exceeded expectations. Those memories are fuel. They remind your mind that you are more than the doubts that linger. And remember, self-belief is not selfish. The stronger you believe in yourself, the more impact you can create for others. People are inspired by conviction. Leaders are followed because of their belief in their vision. You cannot lead, you cannot inspire, you cannot achieve if you do not first trust in your own capacity. So stop waiting for permission. Stop waiting for validation. Stop looking outside for proof of your worth. Look inside. Strengthen your inner voice. Nourish your faith in yourself. Protect it from negativity, criticism, and comparison. Build it until it becomes unshakable, because that belief will carry you through rejection, failure, fear, and doubt. It is the invisible force behind every success story, the spark that turns vision into reality, the bridge from who you are today to who you are meant to become. Discipline over motivation. Listen carefully, because this is where most people fail. They wait for motivation to show up, and it never does consistently. Motivation is fleeting. It is a spark, not a flame. So, me days you will wake up energized, ready to conquer the world. Other days you will wake up tired, frustrated, and doubtful. If you rely solely on motivation, you will build a life that is inconsistent, unstable, and fragile. Discipline, on the other hand, does not care about how you feel. Discipline is a choice you make repeatedly, every single day, even when you do not feel like it. Think about the difference between someone who dreams and someone who achieves. Dreamers wait for inspiration. Achievers show up whether they feel inspired or not. Discipline is what allows you to do the work, grind through the challenges, and keep moving forward even when the excitement fades. It is what allows you to push past laziness, past fear, past excuses. Discipline is not easy. It is uncomfortable. It requires sacrifice. But it is the bridge between dreams and results. You must understand that your feelings are unreliable. You cannot depend on feeling motivated, happy, or confident to do what is necessary. Champions, leaders, and extraordinary people do not operate on feelings. They operate on habits, routines, and systems. They wake up before sunrise, they train even when tired, they study even when distracted, they work even when others rest. That is discipline in action, showing up consistently regardless of circumstances. Discipline creates momentum. Every small task you do consistently compounds into progress. Every decision to resist distraction, to complete a difficult task, to keep learning, adds to your capacity. The more you practice discipline, the less you need motivation, because your actions become automatic. Discipline is freedom, not restriction. It frees you from the tyranny of your emotions, from the excuses that hold most people back, and from the endless cycle of starting and stopping. Look at the lives of people who inspire you. Muniba Mazari, for example. She did not achieve her impact because she felt motivated every day. She achieved it because she showed up. Every speech, every awareness campaign, every personal struggle she faced required her to push herself beyond comfort. Her discipline, her commitment to act, to influence, to teach, turned obstacles into stepping stones. Discipline is forged in the small moments. It is saying no to distractions. It is prioritizing what matters over what feels good. It is following through when no one is watching. It is consistency in the ordinary tasks that most people overlook. Greatness is rarely built in grand gestures alone. It is built in the tiny daily choices you make that align with your goals. So stop waiting for motivation to arrive like a guest. Stop wishing for energy or inspiration to strike at the perfect moment. Stop letting mood swings dictate your progress. Decide today that you will act regardless. Decide today that your commitment to your goals will be stronger than your desire for comfort. Decide today that discipline will guide you, not fleeting feelings, not excuses, not distractions, because discipline is what turns dreams into reality. Choose your environment wisely. Listen carefully, because this is one of the most overlooked keys to achieving anything you want in life. You cannot grow in a toxic environment. You cannot thrive surrounded by negativity, doubt, or mediocrity. The people, places, and influences you allow into your life shape your mindset, your habits, and ultimately, your destiny. If you want to achieve greatness, you must become intentional about where you spend your energy and who you spend it with. Ask yourself honestly, who do you spend the most time with? Are they people who lift you up, who challenge you to be better, who inspire action and growth? Or are they people who complain, who criticize, who doubt your potential, and who subtly or openly try to keep you small? The company you keep has the power to either accelerate your progress or sabotage it completely. Great people become great, not just because of what they do alone, but because they cultivate an environment that fuels excellence. Your environment is not just people, it's everything around you. The books you read, the shows you watch, the news you consume, the social media you scroll through, all of it enters your mind and shapes your beliefs. If your surroundings are filled with negativity, fear, or distraction, your mind will internalize it. Your goals will shrink. your confidence will fade, and your potential will be suffocated. Protect your mind like it is sacred, because it is. You are the average of the 5 people and influences you surround yourself with. If you want to rise, your environment must rise with you. Look at Muniba Mazari. She faced a world that doubted her, that saw her limitations, that tried to define her by what she had lost. But she intentionally surrounded herself with positivity, inspiration, and purpose-driven action. She chose mentors, communities, and causes that fueled her growth rather than diminished it. She curated her environment to empower her every step, and that is what allowed her to rise and inspire millions. Guard your energy fiercely. Say no to negativity, gossip, and distraction. Remove influences that drain you rather than elevate you. Seek out mentors, teachers, friends, and communities that inspire growth, that challenge your thinking, that push you toward your best self. Surround yourself with people who hold themselves accountable, who dream bigger, who act relentlessly, and who believe in possibility, because their mindset is contagious. Also, create spaces in your life that encourage focus and action. Organize your home, your workspace, your routines in a way that makes success easier. Remove clutter, remove distractions, remove excuses. Align your environment with your goals so that every aspect of your surroundings supports your growth, not hinders it. Remember, your environment shapes your identity. Identity shapes your actions. Actions shape your results. If you want to achieve anything in life, stop underestimating the power of influence. Choose carefully what enters your mind, what surrounds your body, and who walks beside you in your journey. Because the right environment doesn't just support your dreams, it accelerates them and makes the impossible achievable. Take imperfect action consistently. Listen to me, because this is the fire that separates dreamers from doers. Too many people wait for the perfect moment, the perfect plan, the perfect conditions, the perfect confidence. They wait, and in the meantime, life passes them by. Let me tell you something. Perfection is a myth. Waiting for it is procrastination dressed up as patience. The moment to act is now, even if it is messy, even if it is uncertain, even if it feels uncomfortable. Action, imperfect action, is the engine that moves dreams into reality. Every successful person you admire started somewhere imperfect. Muniba Mazari did not start by having all the answers. She did not begin with a flawless plan or endless resources. She began with what she had, where she was, and a determination to move forward despite fear, doubt, and limitation. Every speech, every campaign, every effort she took was imperfect at first, but she took action anyway, and momentum compounded those imperfect steps into extraordinary impact. Understand this clearly. Action breeds clarity. You cannot wait to feel ready, because readiness comes through doing. You cannot plan every detail, because life will throw curveballs you cannot predict. You cannot wait for the perfect conditions, because the perfect conditions do not exist. Start. Take a small step. Adjust as you go. Learn from mistakes. Refine, improve. The magic is in the movement, not in the waiting. Consistency is just as critical as action. One bold move is inspiring, but repeated effort builds results. The world rewards persistence, not perfection. Show up daily, take steps daily, push yourself daily, even when it is inconvenient, even when it is exhausting, even when no one notices. Those are the moments that define character, that build skill, that create momentum. Small, consistent, imperfect steps are more powerful than massive, occasional, perfectly planned actions. Stop letting fear hold you back. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of making the wrong choice, all of these are illusions designed to paralyze you. Action destroys fear. Action exposes reality. Action teaches you what works and what does not. Every misstep is a lesson. Every failure is a teacher. Every unexpected result is an opportunity to adapt. The moment you take action, you gain information, experience, and momentum that you could never get from overthinking. Take risks. Take imperfect action. Learn as you go. Adjust relentlessly. Keep moving forward. Celebrate small wins. Recognize that progress is messy, and that is okay. Each imperfect step is a building block, a bridge from where you are to where you want to be. The world rewards those who act, who refuse to wait for permission, who refuse to wait for perfection. Do not wait. Do not hesitate. Do not let fear, doubt, or overthinking steal your future. Start now. Move now. Do imperfectly, but do consistently. And watch how momentum, learning, and growth transform your life in ways you cannot imagine.